Drop dubs, hit routes, so yeah, we on the move. From the paint to the pocket, got nothing to prove. Precision in the pass, rhythm in the run. Every play, every day, till the work is done. Yeah. Step on the field, I'm reading the D. Eyes wide open, ain't fooling me. Pump fake, sidestep. I'm breaking the press from baseline to sideline. I'm bringing my best. Snap back, quick glance. I'm calling the play. Hoop dreams and touchdowns. I'm making my way. No look behind the back. Threading the scene. Every angle, every shout. I'm chasing the dream. Drop times, hit routes in the deep, no doubt. From the field to the hardwood, hear the crowd shout. Pass it, dish it, through traffic. We find.
What's up, everybody? Appreciate you tuning in to Passion and Precision. We're back with another episode. Got a lot to talk about, as you can see. That's the topics we're going to run through tonight. Like I said, a lot going on. Got WNBA going on right now. You have preseason. You have the NFL season. It's a lot to take in. We're going to give you our, unique way of talking about it. And obviously the rants and everything, you already know what you're here for. So before we even get into all that, gotta introduce the crew. Key, how are you doing tonight?
What's going on? Friday night, little 3-day weekend. Get to see some good, hopefully some games. Tomorrow with the college and NFL. So we here. We gonna talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And of course, the reason why you come here for the rants, Jory, how are you doing tonight?
I'm all right. It's been a long week. I don't get a 3-day weekend. I have to work on Monday. I'm a little jealous, but yeah, excited to talk some sports. My team is no longer winless.
True.
Thanks. We still got a rant about that today.
Huh? Yep.
We don't got a rant about that today.
Nope. Callahan still stinks, but still, a win is a win.
Well, look, hey, he got his win. I'm sure he slept a little better. Hi, Bella. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into these topics. Well, we're going to talk LeBron. We'll save him for later. I just wanted to show this to let you know where it's going to be coming from when we get to him. But let's start with Dion. Dion, once again, dealing with some health concerns. He had blood clots that he had a procedure done on. Hey, what's going on, Vic? And I feel like with his health kind of declining the way it has, because obviously he had the issues before the season with the press conference and everything, are we going to get to a point where the job just is not good for his health and he's going to have to step away? Or do we think Dion, the personality, won't allow him to? Mm-hmm. I'll let you go, Jordan.
I think at this point, it's best to sit himself down. Because it's like, think about the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even with what you're doing now, have you really changed anything in Colorado other than the perception? No.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say he should quit, but let this be a warning that it might come to that point. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. He should take this as a sign. I'm not saying make a move based off of this unless he absolutely has to. But his pride is not going to let him. But he needs to take this as a sign because it is serious. You walking around on the sideline without a shoe on because you're having issues with clotting is not normal.
Yeah.
And it is a sad situation.
Look, blood clots. We've seen athletes retire over because of what that means for you travel wise and everything like that. I mean, like you said, Dion has to have the porta potty on the sideline because of the previous health issues. And, like Vic said, it would be sad because maybe the success at Colorado hasn't followed him, but him kind of interjecting his personality into college football definitely made waves that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because without Dion, like the only real personalities we had was probably Saban and Dabo to a certain extent. Dabo's personality is more like
Dabo's
why
a freak.
when they're not playing well. But you at least had that. And then Dion obviously brings his larger than life personality in. And it was good for college football, got people talking, brought new eyes to Colorado football. Because I don't know the last time I was, excited to watch Colorado football. But you like to think that, Dion's going to do what's right for himself because we already know coaching is a very stressful profession. So he has to be careful with that. What's going on, Sajin? But yeah, Key, like, what do you think about this Dion situation? Is this something that, probably could lead to him stepping away from the sideline?
I don't think it's gonna have him step away. Um, he loves the game too much. He loves Colorado. It's so much he put in Colorado for him to say, I can't do it because of health reasons. I think literally you had to bury him on the field for him to stop. And I don't think his ego and pride will allow him to sit down. He had those blood clots in his legs before. That's why he had all them surgeries.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and plus them blood clots are serious because they travel.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nothing to play around with. And then he had the bladder cancer, so he had to get a whole new bladder and learn how to use the bathroom and stuff all over again. So yes, he has to have the porta potty on the sideline, but he still loves the game. He still loves them kids. I don't think he'll step away. Like it has to be something really really drastic. Even the cancer didn't really. I mean, he had to step away to treat that, but even that didn't knock him down. So I think he would be bored at home if he stopped coaching. So I don't think he'll stop. But if it was drastic enough, he probably would. But I don't think he'll step down.
Yeah, if he was at home bored, he'll find himself to stick to brown nose and whatever Jacksonville got going on with Travis Hunter or whatever Cleveland got going on with his son.
He down 2 toes, Vic. 2 toes. Yeah.
And speaking of Dion,
you gotta go back and see Shannon roast him.
Huh? Yeah.
I said Shannon roast him because he had 2 toes. I mean 8 toes.
Yeah.
2 things. One, I don't know where this version of Nick Saban came from, but I blame Pat McAfee. When do you see this man standing on a chair?
He said you can't see me.
And dancing. When do we see this?
That's the Pat McAfee effect.
P-Mac.
Yeah, he does that.
And did you see Michael Irvin go on a rant about some podcast?
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, that was hilarious. And the
don't get Mike started.
I'm like, first thing, I'm like, I hope they're not talking about, because if we're being cut and dry, he can't cover anybody right now. He only has 7 toes. What are you covering with 7 toes?
I mean, he got Carucci. Why should Shadora gonna tell him ever since you got with her stuff been going downhill? I can't.
I would have beat his ass.
I said, oh no.
Like, that's low-key disrespectful.
No, it is. It absolutely is.
It's really disrespectful, and they be thinking that's funny, and that's why I be thinking that whole family is weird and it's a clown show. Y'all be getting away with disrespect too much. To me,
Mhm.
because
I
there's
mean,
ways to do it instead of like
they are
it's
a IRL reality series.
it isn't that whole family is not for me outside of baby girl.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
She the only one you don't hear nothing because she's like, nope, I'm out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, look, the spotlight that Dion casts, obviously not everybody wants that in their life. And it seems like she's cool, whatever, but she doesn't, have to do the stuff that Dion and Shador and all of them do. So, like I said, they're a reality show waiting to happen.
And I'm not watching.
I mean, they did used to have one when they were little.
They had one when
Yeah.
Shador was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they were little,
Mhm.
when they were little kids, and he was married to Pilar at the time, so and he was still playing.
Yes. All right. Let's go. Speaking of the Sanders, so Joe Flacco, gets replaced by Dylan Gabriel. The Browns decide to trade him within the division to the Bengals, which that's kind of been a theme recently of teams. If it's not a trade, but like free agency, guys staying within the division. So Flacco's just the latest one to do so, and he will be the Bengals starting quarterback this week. But it did bring into question how would Stefanski handle what's going on, Kerem? The Browns depth chart, because we know Gabriel's going to start. I think the assumption was Shador was going to be the number 2, but then the Browns are like, well, we do have Bailey Zappi, who we will look at as well. And then we got Shador in a moment of maturity, I guess, saying that whatever Stefanski has him for his role, he's fine with it. He'll do it. And then we learn Shador is going to be the number 2 quarterback. So let's start with the Joe Flacco part of this. Are we expecting him to have any impact of note on the Bengals? We know the Bengals were struggling with Browning. Browning was a turnover machine. So you bring in Flacco, who knows the division, is a vet. Can he do in Cincinnati what he did in Cleveland a couple of years ago?
I
When he
expect
came in and led them.
I expect for him to be as effective as a tic tac in a whale's mouth. So what does that tell you? Not a lick of effectiveness. Not a lick.
That's a new one for me.
He's 40 years old. You finna
Mhm.
put him behind that offensive line. You finna get him beat all to hell.
Hmm?
He might retire. He might pull Avante Davis at one point.
Yeah. It is a tough situation with all the issues.
I mean, Jamar Chase will be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They won't win anything.
Flacco's health will be a concern. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, because he can't run out the pocket like that. When that line collapsed, he's going there.
And Flacco was turning the ball over too. So
mhm.
you switch one turnover prone machine for another turnover machine, and that's not how the turnovers are supposed to magically go away. 1 + 1 doesn't equal 0. Make it make sense.
I mean, I feel like for the Bengals, you look at that division, Steelers are whatever, Ravens are a mess right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns are a mess as well. So the Bengals, I feel like, are just trying something. And if all Flacco does is, reduce the turnovers by a little bit and, get the ball out to Chase and Higgins and those guys quickly to avoid that line failing him, then, with the timing of them doing it, maybe they stay close in the division, and we'll see. Because I don't think the Steelers are going to run away with it. I know Vegas loves the Ravens turning it around, but
That's not
I kind of
happening.
need to see that before I could even entertain that. And then the Browns, unless Gabriel turns into like a star overnight, they have the defense that maybe if the offense becomes consistent, maybe the Browns can make some little run here. But I mean, I don't blame Cincinnati for doing it. I like you said, Joe Flacco has one foot out the door. Like he's probably just looking to finish out this year, turn in them papers, and go back to his couch where he was.
Mhm.
It's still a crazy story, but I mean, Key, do you think there's any magic in the right arm of Joe Flacco left?
Flacco, I guess whatever you want to call it. But if Jamar, I mean, will be happy though. I mean, he's a veteran. He'll get the ball out faster to him than Browning would do, interception machine. I mean, the line ain't gonna save him. I mean, Vic said, Joe's used to not having the line and played well. I don't think they'll come back to get in playoff contention. So I mean, this may be Joe's last last hurrah. Like I said, he already had Super Bowl ring. What else more do you want him to do? He did his job. Yeah, he took Cleveland to the playoff last year. That was a fun story, but every story got to come to an end. But the Browns, let me tell y'all how bad these Browns is.
Yes.
So the Browns are currently right now paying 8 quarterbacks. Y'all heard me say it, 8 quarterbacks. So they're paying Deshaun Watson $35.9 million.
Mm-hmm.
Jameis is still getting paid $2.2 million. Gabriel getting paid $1.1 million. Flacco's getting $999K. Shador is getting $955K. Bailey's happy, not even on the he's a practice squad player.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting $315K. DTR not even on a team no more. He got cut from the Eagles. He ain't on nobody team, but he's still getting $171K. And Kenny Pickett is still getting $8K.
Yep.
What are we doing, Cleveland? What are we doing?
They're throwing darts at boards that aren't dart boards and hoping something will stick.
Yeah.
Just throwing darts at the wall, hoping that'll just maybe. But this is what they get when you screw over Baker Mayfield for a weirdo.
Just imagine if Cleveland would have had Baker put pieces where Baker needed to be. Cleveland would be a complete team because Cleveland, if you look at it, they have a great defense.
Yep.
It's offensively is where they struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And with Baker, you don't have to worry about, if things aren't going well, the locker room going terribly. Like Baker is a guy who uplifts teammates. He's all about effort and the late game comebacks and everything. Yeah, I feel like the Browns. I mean, the only thing you'd worry about is could the Browns front office put together a situation for Baker to be better, but yeah, they would probably be in a better situation. And if you're the Browns, you need Dylan Gabriel to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go into the draft next year and there's questions at quarterback, you're now going to add another person to that issue. And yes, obviously, if Gabriel struggles, then Shador will get his opportunity. But it's crazy to think that they're paying a bunch of guys and they still are a mess at the quarterback position. And yes, Deshaun Watson obviously messed it up for them because they were turning their future over to him. But yeah, Gabriel or Shador need to be the guy. Like we don't need to hear about them looking at I'm trying to think of the quarterbacks coming out in college, like Mateer or one of these guys who are expected to be drafted in the first round. Brown should be no part of those conversations.
And this also is a poor reflection on Stefanski. Yeah, you're a two-time coach of the year, but you ran off Baker Mayfield after forcing the man to play on an injured shoulder. Of course, he's not going to play well. That man played with a torn labrum, and of course, he's going to stink it up.
Mm-hmm.
Damn back hurt, shoulder hurt.
So Vic is saying Deshaun will come in as a starter next season. Look, if
Deshaun is not done, they're going to come off of him in the offseason. They're going to bite that bullet.
You would think so. And I think the only hope for Deshaun would be, like I said, if Gabriel and Shador stink up the bed, they might turn back to Deshaun because, look, they made a big investment in him. He's done nothing to reward them. Why not give him one last shot? I think the issue with that is it's been years now since Deshaun was good Deshaun. You got to worry about, is that Deshaun even in him anymore?
No.
And based on the times he's been on the field with Cleveland, you have to say no. But they can't move him because who's going to take him on? So they may have to, as much money as they're investing in the quarterbacks that aren't there, are they going to sit here and eat dead money just to move Deshaun out of the building and just add to that total? But the Browns are in a tricky situation.
He's not playing because the owner already admitted he was a mistake. Once the owner says that, you good as grass.
He says guaranteed money. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like with the guaranteed money, if you want to move off of him, you got to eat some dead cap. But just getting, I guess, him and the presence out of the building, which would obviously be dependent upon, once again, Gabriel or Shador showing that there's a future there. If one of them steps up, I think Gabriel's off to a good start. I thought him against Minnesota, he looked good. Even that final drive, he made the right decision. Judy just got tripped up before he get out of bounds. Well, okay.
I don't
In
think
theory,
he's
yeah. But it's just diminished returns at this point. Like if you
y'all realize he retore the same Achilles he tore this year, right?
Right.
So the chances of him even being remotely close to starting quality is like this.
And part of his appeal in Houston was his dual threat ability. Now, he does have a good arm that if you took his athleticism away, he has a good arm. But once again, that was years ago. The times he got a start in Cleveland, he just did not look good. And that's where I think the issue is with Deshaun. Like, look, if he came back next year and looked like 85% of Houston Deshaun, I'd say, yeah, start him. I can't sit here and say like that's gonna happen. I just don't think so. Yeah, even the problem with saying that is we don't know if Baker would have looked the same way if he stayed in Cleveland. Because that's putting a lot of faith in the front office and everything. Well, Peters is an offensive lineman. They're built different, and what you're asking them to do on a football field is different than what you'd be asking Deshaun Watson to do. Like, not to say that he can't do it. It's just, I guess the probability isn't on his side.
He's broke. If you watch him play, he's broken mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's the other part. He didn't look confident the times he did start with Cleveland.
OBJ was a part of the problem. OBJ broke up that wide receiver core. He broke up that offense because
Mhm.
him and his daddy were pillow talking, and somebody got Twitter fingers.
Yeah. So, Vic, I get what you're saying about your Achilles on a lineman, but you also have to look at it as linemen operate in a phone booth. With Watson at quarterback, you'd be expecting him to scramble out of pressure, to move up in the pocket and all that. That's the only thing. That's what I said. Arm wise, Watson could do it, but athleticism is going to take a hit. And as Jory just said, he didn't look like a confident quarterback. Was it 2 years ago now when he started a couple of games and then went out with another injury? So between the ears might be the biggest rehabilitation in Watson. And he's not getting any younger anymore. So how long are you going to wait for him to possibly get back to what he was before?
You already
could
ruined
just be-
the franchise for him. Don't further ruin it by delaying the inevitable.
Yeah.
Or holding on to hope. He is what he is at this point. He can't stay healthy. Mentally, he's weak. He keeps taking stupid sacks.
Mm-hmm.
That's not starting quality. Yeah, they're paying him a lot of money, but that's their dumb ass. That's their mistake. And that's their karma.
Mm-hmm. But I'll admit, when they made the move, I thought it was a good move to make. Now, I wouldn't have moved off of Baker because I'm a Baker fan, but if you could get Deshaun Watson, I thought, yeah, coming off of how he looked in Houston, I was like, okay, they upgraded, because I would have taken Deshaun Watson at that time over Baker Mayfield. I think anybody would. Unfortunately for the Browns, the time since that trade, Baker has looked like the much better quarterback. So that's what the Browns have to wrestle with. And it may depend on how much money is actually still left on that deal, which I probably should have looked that up before. But that's also something, if it's low enough that the Browns could cut bait and then not completely kill them, they'll probably do it.
Ooh, yikes.
There's still a lot, isn't there?
Deshaun Watson has 2 years left on his contract covering 25 and 26 with $92 million remaining in salary, $46 million each season.
Yeah.
See,
yeah, so
the Broncos took that $86 million cap hit for Russ.
This is true.
Yeah. But that was also dependent on Bo Nix. They believed in Bo Nix enough to do that. That's unlike Gabriel and Shedeur. One of them has to show that Deshaun Watson doesn't need to be an option.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they can vote in 27. Look, maybe next year is Deshaun's last shot at it. I wouldn't bank too much on that.
He can go. He can go right.
Yeah.
I'm not a Deshaun Watson fan.
Here's a topic that I'm sure Jory's excited to talk about. We got sad Kyler. I saw this. I felt so bad for him. He sat there. The man was going through it.
He's
Worst loss of his
I
career.
can't download COD.
Worst loss of his career. I mean, he was defending DeMarcado, which I thought that was the right thing to do. He said he's a smart guy, high IQ. He won't do it again.
If he has such a high IQ, what kind of a low IQ play was that? You know better than to do that crap.
I just don't get where that started.
DJ.
But it's like, why did that become a thing?
It
you try
started
to
off
release
with
it. You try to release it like the very second you cross the goal line. Why?
Deshaun Jackson. That's where it stemmed from because he started it, and then we seen Mitchell do it with the Colts. I'm like, oh no.
Mitchell had a rough game that game, so
Yes, DeMarcado broke through, which would have been, I believe, a 72-yard touchdown,
Yep.
and then let go of the ball right before the goal line, and it turned into a touchback.
For all that, you could have slowed up and fell backwards in the end zone.
why
At least you
are
would have.
slowing down defender in your peripheral? Why are we even doing that type of trap?
Mm-hmm.
He's such a high IQ player. Well, I can't tell.
Right.
He was a bunch of stupid on that one.
But as I've said, that bad teams, those are ways you lose games. And the Cardinals, yes, fantasy owners, if you had them, were probably ripping their hair out because you lost all that. But, Kyler Murray was highly touted coming out of college. And when you look at Kyler, you see a guy who's talented. It's just that the complete package is just insufficient. And you'll see him do stuff like Sunday. Back in shotgun, not ready for a snap, it bounces off your face mask, and you get a turnover. Stuff like that. Or scrambling to get away from pressure and just doing like a random shovel pass out into the flat just to get rid of the ball. Stuff like that is what comes back and burns you in games in the NFL. College, maybe you get away with it, but NFL, no. And, Jory obviously knows the journey of the Titans, but I don't care if you're a winless team. You give a team enough opportunities, they will beat you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the Titans did.
And then Tampa will pick. And instead of just falling on the damn thing, instead of just going down, he wanted to do too much, let go of it, and it turned into a touchdown. Mind y'all, I was literally mid-rant when the momentum shift.
Mm-hmm.
Mid-rant.
Yeah.
It was an interception. It was a fumble. No, the interception that turned into a fumble, and it just so happens that Tyler Lockett was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And there was 4 Cardinals around the ball, and one dumb kicked it.
Mm-hmm.
Just a lack of situational awareness, and I'm like, I love it.
Yeah.
And I'm actually glad that we took the opportunities that was given.
Mm-hmm.
And I would, this is probably best for Music City Blitz, but I'm going to just say it now. To Bo Hardigree, thank you. Tempo. Open the playbook. Stop with this dink and dunk. And my offensive line really wasn't an issue yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, Sunday. It was the play calling. And y'all didn't get it together until we had so momentum. I'm disappointed. But to the Cardinals, Gannon, after the fumble, not after the touchback thing.
Yep.
Understandably so. Hold on one second.
He lucky. Gannon lucky that DeMarcado is the person that he is, because let that been any other player. Oh, you gonna hit me? All right. He wouldn't have had no job. You can't be hitting grown men, Gannon. Like, I don't care what the situation is. They gonna hit you back one day, and they got a right to if you do. So, yeah, Gannon, that was just the wrong thing. I know he apologized to the team and everybody. He said his emotions got the best of him. He apologized, but still, can't be hitting no grown man, because that could have went all the way left.
He acted like a fan instead of a coach.
And I understand, because in that situation, He was 38 high.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had probably shown the Adonai Mitchell stuff in team meetings. It's like, hold on to the ball. Letters and logos.
Mm-hmm. Right, that's the thing. Like, there's big lettering in the end zone. If you just ran to that and then let go of the ball, you wouldn't have this issue. And Kerm's point, look, the Cam Ward throw to Calvin Ridley on the sideline showed you the potential of Cam Ward.
All time, Calvin really catch a damn ball.
Hey, Ridley had a good day.
What
do you have? 5 catches, like 130 yards, I believe.
146.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, he definitely had a day.
Can they stack wins though? Back to Gannon. You got to keep your composure, because you already know you on the hot seat. Because that's only a thing somebody who is on a hot seat knows. You got to. That does that.
Yeah.
You cannot put your hands on people. I mean, I get it, because I understand why he wanted to lose his crap.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to remember where you're at. The eye in the sky is always watching. And that $100,000 fine was definitely worth it.
Are you bigger than the 5th grader?
No. Not with that decision.
Right.
Webster with a black eye on. I can't.
That's actually that was
Yeah,
bad.
Kyler, and he runs funny too. It's so funny.
Yeah, little short, choppy steps.
You know how Mario runs? Super Mario?
Yeah. Wait, with the star?
Yes.
Yeah, that's funny. He runs just like him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He be skedaddling.
Like, he can move. It's just the decision making is what gets in his way.
And stop wearing big ass shorts.
Oh, I mean,
it's tiny. I can't unsee it now.
That's not a bad one either. Like Tweety Bird, yeah. Like little short, choppy steps. It's like he's running on a slippery surface and he's trying to keep his balance. And it's like, well, it could just be because he's just so short, but
it is because he's tiny.
Yeah. Like when you see him on the football field in shotgun, it's just standing behind the offensive line and everything. He looks like an absolute little kid.
Him and Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Drew Brees used to look tiny behind the line too. The fact that he had like throwing his tippy toes a lot.
Bryce got to stand on his.
Yeah.
That's cute.
I
mean,
they understand my struggle now. Y'all don't understand. Being vertically challenged means the visors in your car don't work.
Well, I mean, it's why at the combine with quarterbacks, it's all like hand size and height, and to the average fan, you just be like, "Well, can he throw the ball? Like, what does it matter?" It's like a little bit like that matter on a football field.
You know who else runs like a little badass kid? Cam Scatterbo.
Look, he's living the life right now. He might be the most popular NFL player right now.
He might be one of my new favorites.
He was 2 yards away from 100.
How did they not give him the 2 yards? They just took a knee.
To him one more time. I'm like, come on, bald man. Come on.
Like he probably would have celebrated that.
Let him get 100 yards.
He said he got a toning call for saying first down. That's what he said at the interview with the Prime crew.
Yeah.
So they go sentence him. They gonna give him
that into a frat party.
Sentence for first down.
Yeah.
A life sentence for first down. Really? He's not franchise material.
I felt like they should have been questioning that before now.
And now the Giants are led by 2 frat boys.
Yep. Right. Look, that stadium had legit excitement. I mean, you saw it when Russell went back in there for like a play or two, and they were just like, and then Dart came back out and they showed the fan like pointing to the sky, and I was like, oh, is that bad for Russell right now?
Russell, last name Wilson. Oh goodness, man, we got to start with me.
I mean, we did talk
all right.
Giants, so we'll segue into bird's eye view.
So we had the Thursday game, and usually I talk about the keys, but we recapping. As y'all can clearly see, what the recap states: trash, trash, trash. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Trash, trash, trash. We lost 2 games in a row. We lost to the Giants of all teams. Why did we lose to the Giants? Offensively, we still don't have no identity. He can't get nothing done. The OC don't know what he's doing and wants to run. The plays are already predictable. Other teams know what they're going to do, especially with Saquon Barkley. They only run after 2 downs. Now, mind you, I was excited because the first 2 plays of the game, Saquon took them first 2 carries over 30 yards. And what they do, they stop running the ball. I was like, all right, Kevin Petrulio, this is what we're going to do today. All right, I'll see how this game's going to go. And then the defense all of a sudden forgot how to play defense. Just forgot. Quinyon Mitchell gets hurt. Then we got Keely, I can't cover. It's the cement feet Ringo out there. And then we got on the other side, Adoree, I can't cover my slow little sister, Jackson, who can't cover nobody else either. It was barbecue chicken after that. The Giants had the middle school receivers out there. No Neighbors, no Slayton. You had Rondell Miller, you had Wan'Dale Robinson, you had Jalen Hyatt, and you had little Jordan Humphreys. You let somebody named Little Jordan Humphreys beat you. Little Jordan Humphreys. And he's 6'4", 6'5", so he ain't little at all.
Yep.
And Cam a dog.
Mm-hmm.
I don't got nothing bad to say about Cam. Cam a dog.
He run like he had silver teeth.
But did y'all see that play by Adoree Jackson and the lack thereof a tackle when Cam ran that in the end zone? What was that?
Where he did that little crouch down move and all this other.
Yeah.
Cam ran over Zach Bond. I was like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. It's over. So what happened with this game? We flat out got BTA'd. Flat out. No consistency, undisciplined, still predictable. We got 10 days to figure it out. You know it's bad when Lane Johnson talks, and Lane is a humble guy and doesn't say much. Lane, low-key, called out Petrulio and said, this ain't working. It's the same thing. We ran RPOs last year. Teams didn't know what we were going to do. Everybody knows what the Eagles are going to do, and that is bad. The only bright spot on that game yesterday, Dallas Goedert. 9 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown. He was only one. And Swoop.
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw Swoop in there. Jake Elliott, he kicked all his field goals and extra points when needed. Other than that whole team was trash. Jalen did his first turnover. AJ did get the ball. Smitty did get the ball, but Jalen overthrew Smitty. I'm just like, oh my God, here we go again. Last week it was AJ not running through the whole route. This time, Hurts overthrew Smitty. I'm just like, we just can't win. But as you get to the bottom, trash. Do the butter.
Something about AJ.
Like, especially late in the game, there was the trend where Hurts would only look to his left, and I was like, that's where it came back to burn him on the interception. That was like the 5th or 6th throw in a row that he strictly looked left, and AJ was on the right side of the field. But it kind of gave you remnants of the playoff game. Remember that playoff game against the Bucs where their effort and everything wasn't there? That's what it looked like on Thursday. And that's where I feel like that's where Eagles fans are like worried that that is the sign of maybe things to come for a little period here. Because yes, the record is what it is. Like they're still a good team. They're still leading the division and all that. But I think for Eagles fans, the worry is like if they get to the playoffs and they facing better talent, like will this Eagles team show up? And then it's a shortened January stay. So they do have time to figure it out. It's also something I've looked at where maybe they are a team that needs to make a move just to make a move. And sometimes teams have to do that.
I gotta put some heat on Howie Roseman. I get it. You coming off a Super Bowl win, and you have a lot of guys that you have to replace. I know, you can't keep everybody. You can't re-sign everybody. I understand this, but you have to really sit down and look. Think about this. Okay, now if I was to let go Darius Slay and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who the hell are behind them? Keely Ringo. Let's go sign Adoree Jackson. You know what? We'll let them walk. We're going to trade Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to Houston, and we're going to let Slay go, who's in Pittsburgh. Let's let them go and see what we can do. Absolutely nothing. All right, let's go to the offensive line. Milton Williams is going. Kyle, got a good player, by the way. Milton Williams is going. Where did he go? He went to New England, signed for a big contract, 4 years. I think it was $90-something million. Josh Sweat, he went to Arizona. A couple others walked and let go and everything else. But you had to think about it. Who is going to be the replacement? Isaiah Rodgers is a big one. You let Isaiah Rodgers go. He signed with Minnesota 2 years, $16 million. Howie, we couldn't give him $2 million 2 years, $16 million. We couldn't give him $8 million 2 years. We couldn't do that. We couldn't do that. At this point, I'm ready to go bring back Bradbury. Anybody but Adoree Jackson and Kelly Ringo. Anybody. You got Tariq Woolen.
Could do better.
You got Tariq Woolen, who's on a trading block. Call him up. Gilmore don't got no job. I'm not saying he's going to be that old Gilmore, but at least he's not going to let nobody burn him like that.
Caleb Farley's available.
I'm actually surprised Gilmore hasn't signed anywhere.
These next couple of days, 10 days to be exact, we got some work to do. And I better see on my notifications that somebody got traded, how we brought somebody in, we cut somebody.
Yeah. I would say as of right now,
Cowboys
offense is better. Yeah.
But what the Cowboys issue is, you already know, get past the playoffs. That's where y'all can't get to. The offense is good, but the defense is last. To make it make sense.
I mean, that's what that Cowboys team's built. They're gonna have to be very efficient offensively, and so far the numbers look good. I mean, you're hearing, or you will hear, Dak and MVP talks because of the numbers he's putting up, and you kind of have to give him that credit. But let's see what that final record looks like at the end of the season.
I'll give credit where credit's due. If Dallas, I'm telling you, I'm not that fan. If Dallas is playing very well, I'm going to tell y'all Dallas is playing great. Dak is on another level. But if they're not, I'm going to tell y'all trash. Offensively, y'all playing well without CeeDee Lamb, and Dak is doing what he had to do. Miles Sanders has done it for the year, so now it's Javonte Williams and Jaden Blue now. So, and Williams has been playing very well. Not fumbling the ball like he used to in Denver.
Don't they still have Zeke?
No.
Okay. I mean, I didn't understand why they kicked the tires on him anyway. But
I didn't know that. I thought it was the Ravens. Current.
Well,
the dead last defense. No, it's Dallas.
Yeah.
They got the number one offense.
Yeah, yards allowed at this Dallas. Yep. I think the Ravens are dead last in points allowed. All right, Jory. Music City Blitz.
And I'm going to say this quickly. I question a lot of what goes on in the front office and the ownership about my team. But the one thing that I know that Amy Adams Strunk is not going to approve on and is not going for, so you defensive tackle needy teams can back off my defensive tackle. Back off mine. I hate to sound possessive, but that is the heart of my defense. Leave him alone. He's not going nowhere. He just did something with 911 Nashville. That man ain't going nowhere.
I gotta watch that, by the way.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet either.
Ain't going nowhere. So stop all these rumors. And the second he do go somewhere, I'ma cry. Anyway, we got our first win, and there are some takeaways that I would like to point out. Y'all can say that Arizona gifted the game all you want to. The Titans actually took advantage of it. Two sides to every story.
Mhm.
That dart to Ridley, finally he was starting to catch. Maybe you can keep that momentum. Build your confidence. I love Tyler Lockett.
And Tyler Lockett's always been underrated to me. So I always scooped him up in fantasy when he was with Seattle.
I was the same way. Tyler Lockett was one of my favorite receivers, not on the Patriots.
I love Tyler Lockett. I need the rest of my receivers to know that this is what we use to catch the ball. Not your head, not the shoulder, not doing a circle this too ding dang on wide so it hits you in the forehead. None of that. Catch the ball. Tired of that. That's the main reason why my offense can't do jack squat, because of drops.
Mm-hmm.
Tajay Spears came back from IR, so he has to get himself adjusted. I'm not mad about how Tony Pollard performed.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Ward is very special. It would be very stupid for this team, for this organization unless Callahan decides to really turn it, he really turns it around. He should not be the coach for this quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Raiders game is winnable. Don't let Max Crosby be the game record. I should have J.C. Latham back this week.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense, their secondary is gettable. Geno Smith forgets what color jersey he's throwing to. That's a very winnable win. That's a very winnable game. And we can use this game as a way to build momentum. Stop with the stupid penalties. I don't know how many times I gotta say that. I'm not mad. They won. But I want to see them continue to win. But it does help my soul that the Titans and the Ravens have the exact same record. And they just got blasted by Houston.
Mm-hmm. And have the Rams this week. And I believe Lamar is trending towards missing that game.
He's out.
Yep. I think they're going to keep Lamar out by the bye, I think.
Yeah, because the bye is next. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So Cooper Rush, yeah, you take them hits for one more week.
Oh, that's an offensive.
All right, I will go Foxborough Files New Orleans edition. They face the Saints, who, you got to give them credit. Saints have showed a pulse past couple of weeks. They hung tough with the Bills. They beat the Giants, who are coming off of their big win with Jackson Dart. And if you look at completion percentage, I believe Spencer Rattler is around 12th in the league at like 68%. So he's completing at a decent enough number. Obviously, the Patriots are coming off their signature win over the Bills for Drake May. That was his kind of moment where he arrived because he made some throws and he had a great performance without throwing a touchdown pass. He also didn't throw any interceptions. So that's, bigger in my book than the no touchdown passes. But some of the throws he made to Stephon Diggs, that connection is there. He already has a connection with Kayshon Boutte and Hunter Henry. Now the offense looks, I'm not going to say formidable, but it looks like an offense that defenses now have to at least worry about. They do have to get their running game going. The running game has been a bit of a struggle, but, we'll see what they can do. The Saints aren't a great run defense, so maybe they can get Ramondre going. I'm expecting to see more Travion Henderson now with Antonio out for the year. So we'll see if they can get that going. But the keys to the game against the Saints, Cam Jordan and Carl Granderson combined for like 8 sacks. It's going to be a test for Will Campbell and Morgan Moses at the tackle position, even though they've both been really good this year. The turnover battle, have to win that. The Saints are top 5 in turnover margin. So they take care of the ball and they, take advantage of their opportunities to come up with a turnover. If the Patriots can do that, I think they'll be fine. And then penalties. Penalties have been an issue for the Patriots. It's the same for the Saints. They both average like 8.5 penalties a game. And I saw a stat that the crew that's working the game averages giving out like 19 penalties a game.
Oh,
so
boy.
Game, flags.
Boy.
We'll see. If they can minimize that, I think they'll be fine. Look, the Saints are a team that if you allow them to hang around, they can make it a frustrating day for you. And obviously the Patriots can't have that letdown from the Bills win. And I feel like Vrabel's the type of guy who won't allow that to happen. I mean, Steph Diggs was already talking after the Bills game. He was like, look, Saints record may say one thing, but they are a good team that's going to fight. So I think that's the right messaging. So I think they'll be all right.
And then he went in the locker room and acted a fool.
Hey, that was Steph Diggs' day. Thought on Jackson Dart against the Eagles.
I'm not even gonna, like I said, I'm not that type of person to sit here and throw shade at the other teams. Like, I give credit where credit's due. Mm-hmm. Jackson Dart is going to be special. Yes. Him and Cam together, they already saying the name of the duo. I said name them Bow and Arrow because the dart, the arrow, you already got Scatterboo. Bow and Arrow. That's a perfect duo name. They're too young. They're too young. They're young guys. Dart, if the Giants want him to be the franchise, you have to put pieces around him. Mm-hmm. Protect him on the offensive line. Give him somebody to throw to. The Giants already have a good, solid defense. That front they have with Thibodeau and Burns, and Burns could be Defensive Player of the Year. Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter. That front is vicious. So. Mm-hmm. The Giants, if they get it together, they had a sneaky great draft this year. So if they get it together, they can be something. But Dart, the way Dable was flipping out when Russell Wilson had to go in that game, I think that was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life yesterday. Mm-hmm. Russ came in, I'm like, yes, we got a chance. Here come Russell. And what happened his first play? Threw it in the dirt. I'm like, that's the Russell we know. Yeah. But Dable was hot. He was like, where's he at?
I mean, they had the man run over to the medical tent. Like he was dreading the news. Like, oh, he can't come back in the game. Like that would have killed his whole vibe.
He should have just made Russell QB3 then. Anyway, but I would call them the Dodge Brothers because Cam's nickname is a Scat Pack in Dart.
Yeah, I'm sure it won't be long before they come up with something.
But at this point, because Cam is a damn caveman, Did you see his little picture with his little mohawk? I could tell he was a terror. He run like it. He just looks bad. I don't
What?
know how to explain it, but since I've been around little kids, so you could tell when they just look bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he looked like.
The Mario Davis said that last week. He said Cam is one of them badass kids that be at the football camps.
He's just bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what I said. Like Cam is like the prototypical jock. That's Cam. When Cam puts on shoulder pads and the helmet, he's just looking to run over people. He doesn't care. That's for
The
4
fact
quarters
that his
he's doing
mom
that, and
said
then
that he would
off
put
the
on
field he
pads
looks
on
like
and run
he's
into a telephone pole. I'm like, bro.
yeah.
He
Off the
offered.
field he
He
looks like
offered.
he would
He
shotgun
offered.
a beer.
He offered Ryan Clark some candy that he put in his shirt, his pants at an ASU game or something like that. Ryan Clark was like, I don't want no candy.
Yeah. Steph Diggs should have been player of the game. I believe Rabel gave Diggs a game ball.
Give him a game ball, yeah.
Yeah.
Mercury done made it a game, made it a 6-point game.
That's kind of been the Mercury's.
It was like no sweep, not on our home floor.
I mean, if you're the WNBA, like you don't want to sweep.
A'ja Wilson said otherwise.
That's also a problem. Actually, before we get into picks, let's go with that for a second because the WNBA going on. A lot of talk going around about A'ja Wilson and her status amongst WNBA greats. I mean, I think it's hard to kind of do the whole thing like where would you put her? Like, is she the GOAT? Would you put her like 5th all time? But the way her career is trending, is it safe to say that if it continues this way, it would be hard to make an argument against calling her the greatest WNBA player of all time?
Very.
I agree.
She's already the first one who got 4 MVPs.
Mm-hmm.
She about to have 4 rings.
It could very easily win more.
And can very easily win more. Didn't she just get a Defensive Player of the Year award? Co-Defensive Player of the Year. That's some stupid ish.
That was Nafisa Collier. No.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, she did get Defensive Player. She got co. That's right. Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, the co thing is a cop out, but yeah, she has that.
So I do believe if she keeps this up, barring injury, when she's done playing, yeah, she'll definitely be top 2 and not 2.
Yeah.
It'll be her and Tarazi.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, what she's doing is just remarkable, and the way the Aces season has gone is just remarkable as well, because a lot of the season, the analysts and everybody were just like, what's wrong with this team? They were pointing to the Kelsey Plum move and saying that clearly messed up with their chemistry. And then it was like something happened. They got to midseason. They realized the playoffs are kind of close. They flipped the switch and became that dominant team again.
They got blown out by 53 and they went on a 18-game winning streak into the playoffs. Number 2 seed. That's wild, though. That A'ja Wilson, every night you see her stats: 30 and 12, 40 and this. She must have had at least good about 7 games that she was over 30 points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it shows when you're a championship team and you know what it takes, if the teams around you are going to allow you to stay within arm's length, you feel like you can flip that switch and then get to where you need to be. Like I always thought, as long as the Aces made the playoffs, they would have been a threat. But once they made it to, as a top 3 seed, yeah, they were the favorites going into the playoffs, at least to me. The Mercury, whatever happens in this series, Mercury been a great story. They should have a bright future, but it is tough to take down Asia Wilson. And look, you gotta give Jackie Young credit too, because I believe they were the highest scoring duo in the league. So you gotta give her some props to the Aces turnaround and seemingly the coronation of the title here soon. Like those two are like you have to figure out what to do with them. Most teams don't have a big that's athletic enough to deal with Asia Wilson, and Jackie Young is just a worker. She'll crash the boards. She hits big shots. Like you got to do a lot to beat those two.
Mm-hmm.
And Becky Hammon's a great coach.
Becky Hammon came from the Popovich tree. I honestly thought she was going to be the next successor for the Spurs. I think if she didn't take the Aces job, she would have been with the Spurs.
Yeah.
She would have been the official first female coach in NBA.
She would have.
Yeah. I've said there's only two women I could see probably handling the NBA bench, and it's her. Dawn Staley clearly could do it.
Well, yeah, the Knicks. She said she would have took the job if the Knicks offered it to her.
That's still the craziest thing to me. That whole coaching search made no sense. And then out of the blue, they're like, "Oh, we're going to talk to Dawn Staley," and I was like, "Are they about to just do it and be the first thing to hire a woman coach?" And then the weekend came and went. You heard nothing else, and it was like, "Oh yeah, we're hiring Mike Brown." Y'all interviewed Mike Brown like 3 times, so why don't you just hire him after the second interview?
Mm-hmm. But just imagine Dawn Staley with the Knicks. She can relate to Brunson because they both guards. She probably would have got Cat together. Like, the Knicks, y'all messed up with that.
Yeah.
She would have got Cat all the way together.
Mm-hmm.
Gather them. And don't start none of that zesty, sassy-ish either. You can go right back with them.
Right. Well, look, I feel like the fact that she was that close to that job, we're probably not that far away from either her or Becky Hammon getting a shot somewhere. And I can't wait to see the reactions to that, because look, we already know what the other side will say about it. Well, she's a woman, how she's gonna coach grown men. But I think for a lot of people, they'll find it inspirational, and like we're seeing NFL, more women are kind of becoming position coaches and stuff like that. It's gonna happen at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's see. All right, let's get into our picks. I will say, last week was rough.
Ugh.
It was a rough one for us.
Oh Lord, yes it was. Yikes.
Jory had the best week at 2-3. You're 16-10-1. This is the best record on the show. Key and I went 1-4, and yeah, 15-11 I am, and Key is 12-9.
See, and the thing is, on my paper when I did my picks, I put upset alert because something was telling me to pick the Patriots. I really wanted to. I'm not gonna.
I started to. Yeah.
I'm not gonna ignore my gut again.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I mean,
it's a Vrabel game to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because look, I felt, because I even said it. I took the Bills to win, but I was like, that 7.5 point spread or whatever, the Patriots were going to cover that. And they did more than that. They upset them. So, it happens. Hopefully we have a better week this week. So, Jory, here are your picks, which obviously Eagles game happened. Didn't get that one, but here are your other picks.
Thanks, Patullo.
Yeah. Well, look, you got 5 more opportunities to have a good week.
I'm gonna pick the Titans over the Raiders. I'm gonna hate watch the Rams-Ravens game and just hope the Rams just stick it to them. Just rub it in. Just rub their noses in, and then they can have a worse record, and then I can really just go full troll.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pick the Bills over the Falcons because I don't like Raheem Morris.
Yeah.
It's too unpredictable. I'm not saying that in a bad. I'm saying that in a bad way, but not spontaneous. It's just
Mhm.
you don't know what you're gonna get week in and week out. I don't care if it's down the street. If it's down the street in Atlanta, good. I'm gonna continue to bash him each and every week
Mm-hmm.
until they fire Harbaugh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick the Commanders. I'm not sold on the Bears. That defense is the way the last time I saw the Bears defense, they was giving it up. So no.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna pick the Lions over the Chiefs. The Chiefs got issues. Don't let one good game versus the hapless Ravens who can't stop a car at a stop sign,
Mm-hmm.
who couldn't stop a nosebleed. They couldn't tackle a dummy and rush the passer. Good Lord. I'd have a whole lot of time to eat a burger behind the offensive line playing the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm picking the Chiefs were gonna look good in that game. They came back down to earth versus Jacksonville a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, Chris Jones, you've been playing football long enough. Play to the whistle. Like, but if you watched him in Mississippi State, he would be loafing too. So there's that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That being said, because Jared Goff is playing extremely well right now, the Lions offense is clicking. I'm gonna pick the Lions.
Yeah. I mean, I think what we learned with the Chiefs, and I think if you're a Texans fan, you got to worry about this too. Because you look good against the Ravens, does not mean you have fixed everything. Because that just speaks to just how bad the Ravens are right now. So the Chiefs learned against the Jags. The Jags are a better team than the Ravens right now, and you have to execute. You gotta get it done. I mean,
That's hilarious.
look, there's a lot of teams that you will say are better than the Ravens that before the season you would never have thought you would be saying.
Well, my defense is better than the Ravens.
I mean, that's probably the biggest issue is Baltimore's identity for so long has been defense, and now it is a hot mess on that side of the ball. Even despite the injuries. Because a lot of those guys were in against Buffalo. And how did that game go?
That's when it
Those
started.
guys are there for the Lions game.
Down against Buffalo and ain't been right since.
Yeah. But then that Lions game, we'll probably look back if it continues this way. That was the game where the Ravens' heart was just taken away.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. Every single snap of it.
Yeah.
That team is easy to hate because their fan base.
Mm-hmm.
Just delusional. They wanted to act like wasn't nothing wrong. For the past couple years, we've been saying the secondary has been a weak spot. Offensive line at times, and Harbaugh and his stubborn coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Even last year, we tried to blame Monken, but y'all weren't trying to hear that.
Nope.
Now, y'all start with this elementary school ADHD play calling. Just everywhere. What is the play calling? It's called put together a cohesive game, not make a mess.
Yeah.
And lose yourself. They want a chameleon. They try to play chameleon too much.
Mm-hmm.
You have the team to form an identity. Do it. Stop trying to beat Detroit by trying to do what Detroit does best. That's the first thing. That's how to get BTA'd 101.
Yeah.
Every time you go against the Chiefs, do you need to try to turn Lamar into Patrick Mahomes? No, that's how you get BTA 101.
But they
Find
keep
your
doing it.
identity and stick to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they might be staring 1-5 in the face heading into the bye. All right, Key, your picks.
Obviously, I went with the Eagles. We all know how that went. Got the Lions and the Chiefs. So picking the Lions here. I feel like that Lions defense could get to Patrick Mahomes. You saw that game last week. They really didn't run the ball like that. I think was Mahomes their leading rusher? I know Kareem Hunt had some touchdowns. Pacheco really wasn't running at that, but the Chiefs not meant for running. But I think they could get to Patrick Mahomes, especially with that defense, Hutchinson and all those guys, Angeloni. I think they can get to him. But so I'm gonna go with the Lions here. I got the Bills or the Falcons. I think the Bills going to take that game personally, losing to the Pats, and then they're going to take it out on the Atlanta. I'm not saying really an upset, but I think everybody got the Commanders. I'm going to take the Bears here. The
Okay.
Bears got some revenge on one said Washington when Mr. Stevenson decided to talk with the fans instead of worrying about that Hail Mary. So I think they rebound. I think the Bears will win the game. And also, I got the Jags over the Seahawks. I think it's going to be one of the good games off the 4 o'clock sleep.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick the Seahawks with that one because
I wanted to go with the Seahawks, and then I'm like the way that the Jags defense has been playing. I don't know.
And I'm not confused. I am not convinced by that Jaguars defense. Absolutely not. All they do is turn you over that well. They don't do anything else really well either. Yes, you got Mr. Walker and you have Eric Armstead. But I am not convinced. And I'm not convinced about Jacksonville until week 12.
They got two Monday night games. I need NFL. I need y'all to understand. What's the point of having 2 Monday night games on? Why?
I don't have a problem with it. My conspiracy theory has been they are testing it out to see how well it does for a future where maybe Thursday night football goes away. And they just do 2 Monday night games.
And they don't need to do that either because I like Thursday night.
I have no problem with Thursday night either.
So last night was the first Thursday game that wasn't good. The games up until last night's was actually great. I'm sitting here like, it would be us to ruin this streak.
I thought the Thursday night slate last year wasn't that bad.
No, Thursdays was bad last year.
Oh, okay. I guess I thought it was like the year before because there was one year where the Thursday night game was horrible.
It's the Monday night slates this year that turned out to be tragic. Why are they putting the Bills on? Why do I have to go to bed watching the Dolphins and Jets?
I don't know who said let's put them on prime time.
I feel like that's for the old school because those two franchises over their histories don't like each other, and I feel like that's what they were going off of. But yeah, I agree that's a game that should not have been in the Monday night slot. You want to throw that on Thursday night? Sure.
Throw that on at 5 a.m.
Why is the game at 6 Central? So when they do the double Monday night, they do the first game 7, and then the next game will be 8:15. Unless it's opening week, that's when they do the 7 and then the 10 o'clock kick.
Yeah,
But yeah, they do 7 and 8:15 to stagger them, which gives you options. If the 7 o'clock game stinks, you got the 8:15 one to watch.
Speaking
of, just watch both anyway because it's football.
Speaking of McDaniel and his pineapple head quarterback, did you hear his press conference?
Tua, I heard that. Oh, Tua, my kids.
Yeah, the one where he did like the little kid. You ever have a dreams with he stumbled through a thought for like 5 minutes, just we will, what, and I was just like,
I'm
Yeah,
like, are you drunk?
I think the heat of that hot seat is getting to him. I think in
I don't
his
know if
mind,
he's vaping. That is somebody who I've been around. I've seen some stuff.
mhm,
To not be able to to formulate a sentence coherently like that,
mhm,
it would be different. Like for me personally, because I have ADHD, so sometimes I be thinking it too fast for me to talk. That'd be my. That's not the issue with McGenius. There is something there.
Look, I wouldn't mind him as an offensive coordinator for one city, Philadelphia team. Just saying.
mhm. And I think when he loses the Miami job, he probably will sign on somewhere quickly as an OC. Like that's one thing that you can give him. Now with Miami, it's been a little shaky, but some of that is Tua and his decision making as well.
And then
But
you
when
got
they
two
had that
others
offense
talking about
going,
every
it,
night I get to go back. I get to go home and see my kids and da da da.
I don't care if I have 5 touchdowns or 5 interceptions. My kids. Oh,
I'm
Tua.
like, boy, put a coconut over your head and go sit in the corner.
yeah,
Bye. Get off my screen.
mhm.
And as an active Alabama fan, I am so disappointed in this man. When did he just start just going off at the mouth?
Sassy Samoan.
Like,
Yeah,
bro, your your head coach sounds like he done had too many shots.
hmm
You sound delusional and like the world ain't on fire around you when it is, and you the main one holding the matchstick.
hmm yeah,
I don't care if I throw this. I don't care if I throw that. You should care. You're supposed to be trying to get at least to the playoffs. Pineapple brain. Like,
hmm yeah. I mean, it
what's
was.
going on in Miami? And the fact
That's
of
the
the
real
matter
question.
is, they
That's
have
the real.
a 17 to 3 point lead against the Carolina Panthers, who are struggling
hmm
to find any type of consistency and who can't stop the run.
You let Rico Dowd.
Y'all let
26,
Rico Dowdle
26 carries, 206.
hmm
run a mile, run a marathon down your throat.
hmm
Like X-Lax through an elderly person. Quote to Miss
they got pooped on with no TP.
Like,
hmm
and then the offense didn't do jack squat, just like what Arizona did. It came down to the point where all y'all needed was a first down, and you couldn't do that.
hmm Yeah, if you look at the stats from that game, like Tua statistically had a good game. Biggest problem is they're not a balanced offense.
Mm-mm.
For as fast as Achane may run, you don't see it in the running game. They have Ollie Gordon, who was a good college running back, but he just has not been able to get going down in Miami. And they're probably going to end up cleaning house after this year. They kind of have to at this point. McDaniel, Tyreek Hill had the bad injury. He's getting up there in age. Like they need to probably rip the Band-Aid off down in Miami.
Just rip it.
Yeah. That division is falling further and further away from them. I'll go quickly with my picks. So I had the Eagles as well. I had the Lions over the Chiefs. I know Kerm said the Lions are a good team. I believe that. I think the Lions, you want to know a team that knows their identity. The Lions know who they are, and they don't stray from that one bit. I've got the Bills over the Falcons. The game being in Atlanta does make you worry a little bit because it would be an Atlanta thing to do to make that game close. but I think the Bills handle that. I have the Commanders over the Bears. I just think the game may come down to the two quarterbacks. I trust Jaden Daniels more than Caleb Williams right now. The Patriots over the Saints. And then I'm taking the Cowboys over the Panthers. That game could turn to a shootout, could turn to a blowout. I don't know, but one way or another, I feel like the Cowboys will put up points, and I think they will have enough to beat a Panthers team that I don't know what I'm going to get week in and week out from them. So, yeah, I'll take the Cowboys over the Panthers, which I'm sure Kerm will appreciate that one. All right, so we got Final Burn next. Oh, well, I guess quickly before Final Burn, I think we wanted to do hierarchy. I couldn't come with a graphic, but because this is a question that I've asked several places, like, because looking at the NFL, there are so many teams that you just don't really know about. There are so many teams that were supposed to be really good that aren't. It is a weird NFL world right now. So looking at hierarchy, I don't know if we want to do top 5 or top 10, but starting at the top, who is the best team in the NFL right now?
The Lions.
Okay. That would actually be my answer as well.
It would have been Buffalo if they didn't lose. So we looking at the 4-1 teams. So out of the 4-1 teams, who do you put number one? Definitely not putting the Jags there. They're not worth number one.
Yeah.
So it has to be the Lions.
So I just saying top 10, please. Okay. I'm gonna write these down.
Then if you do Lions 1, you got to put Bills 2.
I agree with that as well.
And then
Now I think is where it gets good. What do you have at 3? You have Eagles, you have the Colts, you have the
Eagles
Bucks,
definitely need 3.
you have
no.
The Eagles have to move. And they're in the top 10, but they're in the bottom of the top 10. They're in the 6 to 10.
Yeah, no, because Patullo.
I mean, who's worthy of number 3? Chargers have some injuries right now.
Tampa
The
3.
Jackets, I mean the Colts.
So I think the question would be Bucks, Colts. I mean, I would probably put the Bucks over the Colts. So if you want to put the Bucks at 3, I'm fine with that.
Bucks at 3, Colts at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, and then I guess who's the team that will round out the top 5? Because now you're
Jags
looking at
or San Fran.
The
San
Jags.
Fran's an interesting team.
Right.
They haven't necessarily beat great teams, but they're still winning.
I think we should put San Fran in the top 10. I think they're 6 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'd put the Jags 5 and then San Fran 6.
Okay.
And then maybe the Eagles 7.
Seahawks.
Actually, Eagles 8.
I would
Seahawks
throw.
are better than them.
I would probably throw the Seahawks over the Eagles right now.
Yeah.
So we'll Seahawks 7. So
And the Aces are your new WNBA champions.
okay.
We put the Lions at number 1.
Current, we have the Lions at number 1. Yeah. Congratulations to the Aces.
3rd time in 4 years. That is wild, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, next year, you get the expansion teams in. Maybe it becomes a little bit harder. We'll see. So 8, are we going Eagles at 8? Because now you're in the kind of realm with like the Rams or the Broncos.
Rams over Eagles. Put Eagles 9. They moved that far down.
So Eagles 9. So who is the 10th best team?
Did we say the Chargers anywhere?
We have not. So you still have Chargers available, Commanders, Steelers.
Denver.
I don't hate Denver at 10. I really like their defense.
So we had Lions.
So we have Lions, Bills, Bucks, Colts, Jags, 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, Eagles, and what did we just talk about? I just had a break for it. Broncos. At 10.
Jags, 49ers.
Seahawks, Rams, Eagles, Broncos.
I dig it.
I mean, we'll get a graphic together and put it up on Wire to Wire for you guys. And also on the show's Tumblr, WordPress. We'll put them up there as well. So yeah, we'll come back to our top 10 every couple of weeks. But I feel good about that one. I do think the Lions have shown that they are clearly the best team in football right now.
Yeah, they said forget y'all. I mean, what about us not having the coordinator? So what? We got 2 different coordinators this year.
Yeah, that was the big thing. They lost OCDC, then they lost Carlton Davis, they lost some players on the defensive side of the ball, and I think what we've seen is Dan Campbell is like the CEO.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the coordinators lead, but his mentality is all throughout that team, and that's why they can just do what they're doing.
Dan Campbell is the program.
Yes. Yep.
That's the thing. He is the program.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Drew Lloyd gets a championship. Sorry.
No, she had a good end to the series. The last 2 games, she definitely performed well. All right, let's get into Final Burn. Key, I have you up first.
Real life GTA. Mark Sanchez, what the hell? What the hell, Mark Sanchez? Ain't nobody tell you to for real go do GTA. Like you didn't really have to do what's in the game. You really didn't have to do that. You didn't have to drag this man out his car and said he can't park here. You didn't have to do the GTA. So for those who don't know and have been living under a rock, Mark Sanchez, he doesn't play football anymore, but he is an analyst for Fox. He calls games. So they was in Indianapolis. Apparently he got too lit. There was a older guy. He was 60. It was late 60s. He was 60-ish.
He's 69. He's 70.
He was 70.
Yeah, he was like
69 years old.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so that makes it even worse. So he's 70 years old. And he's still driving, he's driving trucks. Mark Sanchez took it upon himself to go over there and say, you can't park here. And he started beating up this guy. The pictures, I don't know if y'all seen the picture. The picture was horrible. Man was in a neck brace, bruises all over the place. He takes him out his car. He tried to pepper spray him. I think he did. And for whatever reason, Mark Sanchez just kept going. And then he got stabbed. So here we go. We heard Mark Sanchez got stabbed in Indianapolis. We was like, oh my God, who was that crazy? What is the world coming to? Mark Sanchez got stabbed. 2 hours later, Mark Sanchez is arrested. Wait, what? You mean to tell me he was the instigator? Come on, Mark. If you gotta be drinking, just stay in your home, stay in your hotel, stay in the hotel. Don't even come out. Like, I need to know what his mindset was. I know liquor does crazy things to you, but what in that mindset gave you the right to go even bother this guy who wasn't even messing with you? Like, what was the whole point? Now you will forever go down in history with the butt fumble. Yeah. I don't care what nobody says. That will be the worst, craziest play ever that you will ever be a part of and laugh at, because you clearly ran right into your center's butt and fumbled the ball. That will forever be your number one play. This cuts the cake now. Now you then lost your career because Fox let you go, obviously. You can't call games no more. It's possible you could do jail time for what?
He needs to go to prison for that.
So Mark Sanchez, you got to burn for this, bro. real life GTA. Somebody tell you, you do that in the game. Take the people out the car, stab them, and get in and run and then go. No,
Mhm.
you don't do that in real life. That man got a family, I'm sure. Like, come on.
I mean,
And
Art can call games if you want. He got to do the Jason Whitlock way, just in your basement, just hollering on YouTube. Like he can do that.
the thing is, Indianapolis is one of the last cities you want to do that in, trying to stick people up in.
Mhm.
Right.
Dead ass.
Mhm.
One of the last places you want to do that.
Yeah,
And
it's crazy. Yeah.
hey, folks from the thing is, people from the Midwest are different. They don't have to shoot you. They'll fight you or stab you.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Folks in the South, you would have tried that like somewhere in Georgia or south of Kentucky, you would have got shot.
That's crazy
You
that
would have got
Mark
shot.
Davis got
And
more
lucky.
championships with the Aces than he do with the Raiders.
And the same bad haircut.
I'm like, bro,
It's
if it happened in almost anywhere else, he lucky he didn't get shot.
mhm.
Mark Sanchez is incredibly lucky he did not get shot. Because a lot of people don't carry knives anymore. A lot of people carry guns.
Mhm.
And it had it been me, and I'm just doing my job, and you over here telling me I can't park, and then you gonna accost me. The second you run up on me, I'm slamming. What are we talking about?
Especially for a truck driver, because they drive
Exactly.
weird hours
The
of the
second I
night
feel
and they
like my
have to
life is
protect
in
themselves.
danger,
Yeah.
the second I feel like my life is in danger, I don't care if you're drunk, you could be high on crystal, you could be high on weed, you could be drunk off of 5,000 damn cut waters and a thing of teleport. You attack me, and I promise you,
Yeah.
I promise you, it's gonna be the last thing you do. And Mark Sanchez is he's lucky
Yep.
because he got stabbed in the chest, so he's incredibly lucky.
Oh, and Alyssa Smith got her first chip.
Fool.
Mm-hmm. Kerm, I would tell you, I'm not going to bring him up again, but you wait a couple of seconds. I'm going at that man for sure. Yeah, I'll get into mine. It does kind of transition. So there was somebody I left off of mine who kind of ties into the Sanchez stuff. I'm going to bring him up because he would be in this final burn waiting room waiting. Dan Dockich is trash because he was the one who went with the Mark Sanchez story, and he was quick to go on to Twitter, if you call it X, whatever you want to call it. And this was this man's tweet, not knowing the details. Sanchez or anyone being stabbed downtown Indy should not be a surprise. We have a ton of fatherless and armed African American kids descending on downtown Indy every weekend. If that offends you, F off, as the chief of police, Bailey and Rev Harrison have told you this. What we learned was there were no African American kids anywhere near there. It was Mark Sanchez going rogue and going after a near 70-year-old. And Dan Dockich does this stuff a lot. But since he's not on ESPN anymore, he's also in the Jason Whitlock space of sports where, you know, they do their own thing and they say whatever because it's their channel. So he would have been in here. But Whitlock is in here because this Super Bowl thing has so many people so twisted up, it's hilarious to me. Jason Whitlock is the latest one. Like, he doesn't want Bad Bunny because Bad Bunny's demonic and we should have a Christian choir. Miss me with that. Whitlock,
Gluttony is demonic. You fat.
Whitlock is just trying to jump on the bandwagon of all these other people who are hating on Bad Bunny because it's the only way Whitlock gets attention.
Talking about demonic.
Right, and it's just like, and then people were saying, But people were
That's
playing
where
like
he overlooks.
yeah, but it's like people were playing the cut from Stephen A. Smith, I think, a couple of years ago, when he was like, "Yeah, you meet Whitlock, he's a demon of a human being, the way he treats people." But he's now out here talking about Bad Bunny, whatever. Kid Rock is in here because the same people who don't like Bad Bunny for some reason are talking about we should have Kid Rock do it. Kid Rock has been irrelevant so long, I honestly couldn't tell you a song of his. And that's who people want up there doing Super Bowl halftime. Please.
I just know my name is Kid Rock. And that's it.
You're gonna do that for 15 minutes, man. You could go sit somewhere. Danica Patrick is another one who's jumped on it, and her beef is it's not going to be in English. Well, you better find the SAP button, translate it, do something. Get the transcript after and read it for all I care. Like, these people need to just. The crazy thing is, if they didn't watch it, nobody would care. We don't care whether you watch it or not. But stop trying to act like y'all are like the moral compass of America trying to stop some great evil. Bad Bunny is the biggest music, well, one of the biggest music acts going right now. It makes a lot of sense why they picked him. Eric Dickerson's there because Eric Dickerson's another one who's talking about it, talking about go stay in Puerto Rico, because I guess people are mad that he did a residency in Puerto Rico instead of in the U.S., even though Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. But hey,
I need for people to go to school. Then y'all get taught that the U.S. territories is United States, the Bahamas, the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico. You don't need a passport to go to these places. They're part of the U.S.
Yeah, but it's the thing now. Everybody knows that they come out against it, they get attention. And Eric Dickerson, for as great as his NFL career was, he out here looking for attention, so he had to talk about it. But to get away from the Bad Bunny stuff, I have Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly on here because they're beefing out in Vegas over the offense. Pete Carroll's like, we need to run the ball more. Chip Kelly's like, oh, the offense is fine. You know, it's crazy. And these two are
They're
friends.
Beefing?
Well,
They're beefing?
Like Pete Carroll called out Chip Kelly, and Chip Kelly got defensive.
Oh my God! Wait, but why does Pete Carroll look like Cotton Hill here?
Hey, that's look. I said, give me Pete Carroll, animate him, and it came out as Cotton Hill, and it gave me a little chuckle, so I kept it. I mean, they made Chip Kelly look
that is hilarious.
Life, but yeah, and it's something that's worth watching. Even though Pete Carroll is supposed to be a defensive guy, and the Raiders' defense isn't great either. But if they really, hit rock bottom, look for something to happen there with like Chip Kelly getting replaced or something like that. Like, this is week 5 and we're starting infighting already. Like, it's crazy. And look, maybe it's nothing.
We started it in week 1 with Miami.
Yeah. But Chip Kelly is one that, he has a shelf life. He doesn't really stick anywhere for too long. But
because he's terrible? Because he's terrible?
Right. So it seems like a lot of issues in Vegas, and they did say today that Brock Bowers is going to miss the game this weekend with a knee injury. Which I'm sure jury's going to cry over that news.
I'm not. Bad about the injury. Sorry about that, but you won't be missed.
Right. Yeah, that's my final burn. All right, Jory, you are.
Oh my!
Listen, Stefanski. I already kind of got into him, so I ain't got to repeat that.
Mm-hmm.
But to the people who act like Travis Hunter and Shador Sanders are just supposed to come in on these rosters and start, and everything has to be tailored for them, and that it's just their league and their world, and we're living in it, and all of this other stuff. Shut your ass up with all of that. Like, be quiet. Y'all over here talking about Jacksonville is ruining Travis Hunter and da 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 da, led by Father Prime, Big Mouth himself. He get on my nerve with that. Worry about the why your team is still struggling with the exact same 3 issues plus 1, instead of worrying about how Jacksonville is doing Travis Hunter.
Right.
And then when Liam Cohen said he hadn't practiced offense at Colorado, you didn't think that he meant like in the form that he should have been? Not that he meant it at all? Like, you over here worried about what somebody else got going on, and the whole time your leg numb, your team stinks, and you're getting exposed for not being able to develop a quarterback. There are bigger fish to fry. And to everybody else who wants to sit here and cape about Shador and Travis, and it's mainly Shador, he will get his time. Do I agree? Stefanski is an idiot for bungling this whole situation. Yes. And am I kind of upset about with Stefanski hesitating to name him quarterback too? Because you put this on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, y'all over here acting like Dylan Gabriel's starting spot is Shador's spot. No, that's Dylan Gabriel's starting spot. He earned that starting spot. Not everything is going to turn out the way that y'all want to. And y'all need to stop trying to disrespect other people to uplift him. Y'all act like he can't do nothing, and he walk on water, and he done turn wine into bread.
He said, keep the party going.
This man did not die and 3 days later come back. Y'all do not need to be acting like this. And I put that on Jesus Christ's left strap. Y'all need to cut this out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's annoying. Y'all kind of ruining. It kind of makes talking about football to certain people just insufferable. Because when you have these discussions with these people, it's, oh, they're a victim of this and they're a da-da-da-da. I'm like, are you looking at it rationally? He had issues coming out of college about holding on to the ball too long and certain things, right? That's the why he had to work a little bit harder. I'm finna get it out of Adam Silver's long neck ass in a minute. Actually, F Shador. Let's get back into Adam Silver, because I don't like the fact that he's over here saying that the WNBA contract negotiations are getting a little too personal. Hell you mean? This is these ladies' livelihoods that they're fighting for. This is money. It is business. It's getting a little too personal. It is personal. It is. And if Kathy Engelbert is sitting in people's faces and spitting on their graves at the end, on both ends, that's not good for business, Adam.
Not at all.
That's not good, because if you're going to be the head of the WNP, if you're going to be the commissioner, and people are supposed to take their issues to you, and you're supposed to be trusted, if you're going to treat your players like that and make those type of comments where it gets personal like this and be catty, these players don't trust you. The whole damn league don't like her.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, not what after feeding exposed.
And it's been before then, but now they can just visibly not like her.
I've seen some people
So
try to act like the fee thing was made up.
had some truth to it. You had people co-signing.
Right.
Why would she? That's the thing. Why would she make that up? Come on now, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Kathy with her little stupid, I got kids. FTK. They'll be all right. I got kids. And I got 2 dogs. What the hell that got to do with anything?
Yeah.
But Adam Silver, that is tone deaf. That is extremely tone deaf and insensitive. Money, these women just want a bigger share of the revenue. They're not asking for much. They want these refs to do better. They want a bigger piece of the pie. Why is she making this so difficult? I'm tired of him. Man, and then him and LeBron.
Oh God.
Now listen here. Queen James. You hated the backlash of your first decision so much that you wanted to use the second decision to troll.
There you go. Remember LeBron fans
for
going out.
$850 something.
You remember LeBron fans were just like, he did it for the Boys and Girls Club. Okay.
No, he didn't. Not like this. A whole rollout.
For some
Knowing
hitting.
that your words mean power.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to find something else to do for your retirement, dumbass. You are too old for this. And now you're out for 3 to 4 weeks, and you're going to miss the beginning of the season with a sciatica.
Sciatica nerve.
Sciatica nerve. Like, you are such a pain in the ass. Go retire and sit down somewhere, King James. And take your son with you.
Bryce going to be the better one out the
seen Bronny in the preseason.
He is terrible.
Oh my God.
How are you terrible in preseason, bro? Like
what have you been working on?
Not a goddamn thing.
Telling you, Bryce going to be a star.
Bronny need to go play Fortnite.
Bryce is going to be the better James brother.
And I'm gonna piggyback a little bit about what you said about Mr. Eric Dickerson. Stay in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't like it. Somebody told your black ass to go back to Africa and stay there.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. And it really gets on my nerves with it, and I can speak on this because, of course, I'm black, duh. But in our community, y'all feel like because other people are prejudiced and ignorant towards you, that it's okay to do that towards other people that are also marginalized. Can you stop? Like, can we stop doing this?
Mm-hmm.
And now y'all mad at Bad Bunny for sitting during America the Beautiful. What? Mm-hmm. Y'all done made America ugly with your hateful selves. You can't do nothing. You can't have memes on your phone because ICE gonna take you somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he freaking stinks.
Bronny is terrible. Yeah.
Just a waste of a roster spot.
These people better get that Rosetta Stone going. I hope Bad Bunny
learn Chinese.
I hope Bad Bunny from second one, nothing but Spanish.
Like Bad Bunny said on Saturday Night Live, he said you got 4 months.
Yep, hit that Rosetta Stone.
If you get Duolingo, you can do it in 3.
There you go. Crazy part is
It's not that hard to not be ignorant. Being quiet
the,
is free.
the wildest part is we had 9/11. The Super Bowl after 9/11, the halftime performance was done by U2, not American, and nobody cared.
Right.
We've had Shakira up there, we've had J-Lo, nobody cared. We've had countless people who aren't American, nobody cared. But now all of a
We had
sudden,
Rihanna 2 years ago.
Because he does all his music in Spanish and nobody knows. Oh, he has a good following. Very good.
Do y'all realize that Hispanic and Latino music has a really contagious beat? My neighbors last week were getting on my nerve. My last nerve.
But you was
Partying until
jamming.
like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. But I was up, I was outside just doing my little bop. I love it's music. Music is supposed to bring us together. Y'all
You
just
don't like it, don't
folks.
watch it.
Then these type of people love to use anything to divide everybody.
Yeah. And what better way to divide
If
people
you
when they're
don't want
sitting
to
here?
learn Spanish, don't watch it. Or put the TV on mute and make your own damn halftime show. Who cares? Throw a fit. Go cry me a river, build a bridge, and jump off that thing.
Go get some.
Like, come on now.
Go get second helping of your snacks. Like, do something.
Do something, because usually halftime, this is what my little Super Bowl tradition is in my household. Halftime is where we eat, where we enjoy the halftime show, because I do watch it. Or if I don't want to watch the halftime show, I'm going to go find something else to do.
Right.
I use halftime show as like a comprehensive break from the game. I might go take Kobe out. I might play with Bella. Whatever.
Some people sit around and talk about the
It's
first
not that
half.
hard for other people to do it.
Yeah. And if they come with this rumored alternate halftime show, I guarantee you that will be a final burn for the ages. Because they're talking about, that's why the Kid Rock thing came up like that. That's been their guy, but they're talking about Creed and not like Creed. I haven't heard Creed since like early 2000s. It's 2025 and this is who y'all want to put for your
Not
ultimate
Freak on a Leash.
What is Creed?
Creed is a group.
Creed was like a rock band that was like a
with arms wide open. You really want Freak on a Leash and with arms wide open. Creed now in 2025, no sir.
There was supposed to be like some pseudo Christian rock band type. It was yeah.
Or Metallica.
Yeah, Metallica.
I'm so sick and tired of hearing about Metallica. I'm like, go listen to the Metallica playlist on Apple Music.
Exactly.
Go turn it on in your car and go on a drive and blast that bitch.
Gave the CD away.
I didn't even know what Creed was, so there's that.
Early 2000s is like their 15 minutes. Then the other name that kept being thrown out from people was like Morgan Wallen, and some guy on TikTok sat there and
did they do that?
But the guy did like the Spotify downloads from Bad Bunny and Morgan Wallen. I think Bad Bunny was like 16th. And I think like all 15 ahead of him have done the Super Bowl halftime show already. Morgan Wallen was like 135th.
Oh my God.
He was like, if they put Morgan Wallen up there, less people would know him than know Bad Bunny. So it made too much sense not to pick Bad Bunny.
Morgan Wallen has three good songs.
Can put on a show.
Morgan Wallen has 3 good songs and is known for saying the N-word and throwing a chair off the damn balcony. What are we talking about?
look, these people are just grasping at straws.
And they're really mad because they don't like this. All of this crap started with Kendrick doing it last year.
Yes, 'cause it made them uncomfortable. Or they just said, I didn't get it. Well, you weren't supposed to get it. Like, I'm telling you, it's every year they do this. The performer gets named,
Another one. I
they
just
get
thought about
upset,
it.
and they
Ryan
throw out.
Clark,
Oh yeah.
stop fucking apologizing for everything. Things that you say because it do be right,
Mhm.
and it's not like your wording is off. Stop apologizing because I'm tired of that. If ESPN is gonna try to limit you in that, go back to the pivot.
Yes, Drake did.
How you gonna lose the white people way and the black people way? Lost the beef both ways. Like, damn, double homicide. But that was all I had to say.
Yeah. So yeah, look, you guys know that's how we end our show with Final Burn. Usually gives y'all some entertainment to close us out. But look, appreciate all of you that were in the chat. Make sure you do come back next week where we'll have more Final Burns, we'll have more rants, and we'll have more NFL to talk about. Before we get out of here, I guess Key, got anything you want to add?
Well, if y'all want to come check me out tomorrow morning, I will be up for Crown Jewel. I know, it starts early in the morning on a Saturday. Who gets up? Me. So y'all can always come through tomorrow if y'all up. If not, it's all right. But Crown Jewel in the morning. Yeah. So, but I got nothing though. Good show though. Always enjoy hanging out with y'all.
Oh, it's the next wrestling event down in Australia. So
it's in Australia, so it starts at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
So Australia is one of those places that you wouldn't catch me dead at. They got too much crap that can kill you.
Nope, I'm not going nowhere in Australia. I'm not getting kicked by no kangaroo in the middle of the street. I'm not walking into no wombat behind the couch. And I definitely don't let me come in and see that big ass huntsman spider on my wall.
If I see a spider that is as big as my face, I promise you I'm going to die on the spot.
You can have the house. Here you go. Have the house. Leave it.
Look, most of the dangerous things you will find in the outback in Australia. Like there's a reason why a lot of stuff happens in the outback. Like if you don't know your surroundings,
them big ass spiders be in people's houses.
It was just like you get caught out in the outback, you don't know where you're going, you're gonna run into some scary stuff out there.
And they got crocodiles that live in salt water. What are we talking about?
And the crazy part is Steve Irwin didn't even die from a crocodile. They ain't going stingray.
He died by a stingray.
Yep.
I miss that man. I miss that man so much.
Yeah. I mean,
Australia is definitely one of those places that you
Yeah.
You got sharks that swim in fresh water, crocodiles that swim in salt water. You got spiders, the biggest kitchen plates.
Mm-hmm.
Not kitchen plates.
They are that big.
I know they are. They seriously is.
They are huge. Yeah.
They're huge. Like it one could probably take up half my wall right here. You know, I'm good. Snakes coming out the vents. Yeah, no, hell no. The toilets. No, I'm good. I am good.
And the thing about them snakes down there is them snakes are extremely venomous. Mm-hmm. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Australian outback. Not for the weak.
You wouldn't catch me in Australia, and you can't catch me in Brazil.
Well, yeah, Brazil got that whole range.
Carnival, but I'm not going in like no woods and that,
Look, anywhere where I feel like my mother nature is out to get me, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
You
Get
can't catch me.
in the
You
rainforest.
won't catch me on Mount Everest. You won't catch me in the middle of the ocean. You won't catch me in Australia.
Yep.
I'm barely getting adjusted to the mountains. I don't like bugs.
Yeah.
I just found out that there was gators by me. And you know how far inland I am?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 40 minutes outside of Atlanta and there's gators in my backyard.
I remember I visited Florida. They had signs like gator crossing. I was like, oh, that must be some sick joke. And then I saw one
No,
just
I
walking
saw a
across the
sign that
street.
said,
And I was
please
like,
do not do anything with the alligators. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean,
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
yeah, it's crazy.
and you won't catch me living in Florida either.
Mhm.
Florida's like Timu, Australia.
Right. Yeah, Kerm, I did see
No,
like 8th inning, I think, tied it too.
that's it for me.
Yeah, and look, like I said, make sure you like, follow, subscribe to Wire to Wire Network. That way you will know when we go live. A lot of great shows here in the network. You have tomorrow Saturday, so you'll have
Coast to coast.
yes, coast to coast. Like you want to call it like huddle something, but yeah, coast to coast. Tomorrow, getting you guys ready for college football Saturday, and then yeah, make sure you check the morning show Monday through Friday to get your day started, and then all the other great shows every day that we do have. So appreciate all of you. Make sure you're back here next week for another edition of Passion and Precision. For myself, Jory and Key, we are out of here. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye.